Hello everyone, myself Monica SD, bearing USN 1VE20CS091 from the Department of CSC. The topics which are covered in this PPT are energy from sun, different layers of sun, the Earth's rotation around the sun, and how the radiations from the sun reaching the Earth's surface, and also the solar spectrums and some of the solar thermal energy applications. Energy from the sun. The sun is most abundantly used and it is renewable source of energy which is available to us. It emits energy in the form of electromagnetic radiations. Radiations are in the form of which includes UV radiation, visible radiation, and infrared radiation, where we'll discuss in detail in upcoming. The energy can be generated to produce electricity, eating up the water, and also the power vehicles. It is captured by the photovoltaic cells, which converts the sunlight into the electricity. This materials or the semiconductor materials which are used is the silicon. It is renewable, it is clean source of energy. Now comes the layers of the sun. What we'll see different layering of the sun. The sun is layered into 6 different zones or types. The Starting from the innermost layer, the first is the core. It is situated at the center region of the sun where nuclear fusion takes place. The temperature in the core can reach up to 15 million degrees Celsius, and immense pressure and heat is applied in the core region. It takes tremendous amount of energy in this process. During this nuclear fusion, there is a enormous or the large amount of energy which is consumed by this core. And after the core region, next comes the radiative zone. The energy from the core, the energy uh, which is produced by the core, it is transported upward through the slow movement of photons or particles of light. Next comes the convection zone. So, what is convection zone? What convection zone is where hot gas rises to the surface and cooler gas sinks back down in the process known as convection. The movement of gas helps to transport energy from core to the outermost layer of the sun. So the energy or the gas which is produced by the core, it is transported to the outermost layer of the sun. And next come the photosphere. The photosphere is the visible surface of the sun. Most of the light or the heat is emitted in this photosphere. In photosphere, we can also it is covered by the granules or the small or bright spots which is caused by convection. Then comes the chromosphere. After the photosphere, then comes the chromosphere. It is very thin layer of hot iodized gas that emits a reddish glow during the solar eclipse. The last and the final layer of the sun is the corona. It is the outermost layer of the sun in outermost layer of the sun is the corona. It is visible during the solar eclipse as a faint white halo around the sun. To summarize the layers and the atmosphere dynamic of the sun, it is based on the current solar models. Here we can see in this graph, it is a height above the photosphere in kilometers. It is the graph between the height above the photosphere in kilometer and also the temperature. As the height raises, even the layers of the sun is increased. Here, in this, uh, the 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 wordings which can see in the blue color, which is in the which is in kilometer thickness. And next, how Earth rotates around the sun. Earth is one of the planet we where it contains air, water, food, soil, etc. Where human beings or many living organisms can live on. It consists of two hemispheres. First is the northern hemisphere and also the southern hemisphere. The earth rotates around itself and rotates around the sun. During the uh, s- south side, the autumn in the northern hemisphere, spring in the southern hemisphere, summer in the northern hemisphere, winter in the southern hemisphere. The rotation of the earth around the sun causes the sequence of four seasons. The four seasons, which includes the summer, the spring, the autumn, and the winter. And next comes the solar energy reaching Earth's surface. As the radiations, the sun is situated on the extraterrestrial region. What is extraterrestrial region? Extraterrestrial region is the outermost layer of the atmosphere. As the radiations are passed from the sun, which hits the surface, there are some porous materials or the dust or the moisture which is present in the atmosphere. It disturbs the direct radiations. As the radiation hits the surface, it produces the diffusion radiation takes place or the beam radiation takes place. As it hits the terrestrial region is the where plants and living beings live on. As the radiation hits the terrestrial region, reflection takes place. Solar radiation spectrum can be divided into three regions based on the wavelength of the radiations. First is the UV radiation, which is also called as the ultraviolet radiation. Next is the visible radiation, and lastly it is infrared radiation. First will will be discussing about UV radiation. Radiations are the regions of the spectrum with the shortest wavelength. It has the shortest wavelength, which is ranging from the 10 to 400 nanometer, which is responsible for causing sunburn, skin damages, and it is also very important in production of vitamin D in the skin. Next comes the visible radiation. Visible in the sense which we can see from our naked eyes. It has a wavelength ranging from 400 to 700 nanometer. Different colors can be seen in the visible spectrum, which includes red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. And lastly, it is infrared radiations. It is uh, longer wavelength than the visible radiation, ranging from 700 nanometer to 1 millimeter. It is responsible for heat transfer, and it is important for maintaining the Earth's climate. It is important for designing and optimizing solar energy technologies, as different technologies are optimized for different regions of the solar radiation spectrum. The solar radiations we can use the radiation for different purposes. For example, heating up of water uh, through solar water heater, and we can also use for solar air conditioning, where the collector collector plays a major role in this, which is then used to power absorption chiller that provide cooling. It is also used for cooking purposes, and it is also used for drying the drying, for example drying crops, fruits, and other uh, products using the sun's energy. It is also used for distillation, desalination. This provide using solar collector to provide heat, which is then used to power desalination system that converts salt water into fresh water. It is also widely used in solar industrial purpose heating. For example, food processing, textile manufacture, chemical production. This is all about my presentation. Thank you.